Welcome to Ellie Goldson's Inspired Flow. This is a little bit of a noisy one, and the reason being it's good once in a while to share some of the sounds from Jerusalem. I was just in a thankful meal with a marketing person in Ramot with the Chut Shel Chesed team. It was very interesting to hear how a person learns how to connect and sell and really bridge connection with the people that they're working with. It was an interesting experience, and that's part of the unity flow that we're talking about, that we have our relationship flow and all the time we're building on it. At the same time, we're always trying to reach points of unification. That's why we were speaking in a relationship flow about the importance of relationship connection and oneness with our soulmate, which is really one of the most ultimate ways of feeling that unity flow. And at the same time, even when you're like in a noisy place, to just be able to focus and keep inspired. It's awesome how, someone right now is messaging me is Nissim Black, okay, and obviously in reference to the new videos, some people are not sure. And I've already talked about this before. It's funny, just as I'm recording this. And the answer is, I was with him on Shabbos. We had a Shabbaton at Yeshivat Ashreinu. Nissim Black, Yosef Brown. We were with both families, the Black and Brown family. And it was amazing to just connect and see the power of a Jew who's focused on his relationship with Hashem no matter what. And for sure, he's going on a commercial route in terms of the music, but it also has a message that is very important and needed nowadays, this unity message that we've been talking about. And that was expressed over the Shabbaton as he connected with the boys of all different backgrounds, was able to bridge with them his life story and his journey, and also his holy connection to Shabbos, to Shabbat. And that's what, thankfully we do together. And that's an example of how the unity flow is present. And even if a video that he does, it's a little bit more taking it back to the hood, back to the days from before, and bridging it all together with the Hasidic path, and that's a powerful unification just in that one video of Motherland Bounce. So that's my answer in simple to this person messaging me now, and anyone else. I do believe in all the people I'm working with have a unity message. And Muriel were hitting me up asking me about booking for America, for Beit Shemesh. Yeah, definitely interested in seeing some people take more interest in that. And there's definitely room for more development. But thankfully, it has been a busy time. We're working on all the Amunas, our future channels. Just did a nice podcast there, which was really very positive about connecting into that relationship focus, even trying to transform the quarantine that we're hearing from this coronavirus to a concept of relationship focus, of being able to be family first, family orientated, soulmate first, tuning all our energy into what's most important, and that will for sure bring the blessings. So anyway, I just want to end off this week's short, noisy unity flow with a thanks to everybody and anybody who's ever listened, to share this on, to reach out, to build unity concepts, unity projects, and to understand that, things are heating up in the world in many levels, but we have the power within, on the inner level, to withstand everything, and that inner level is the key to everything. From the inner, the Mishkan, from the temple, from the inner levels, the inner values, the inner understandings, we'll be able to overcome all the noise and stress and struggles that we're going through, and to join on to the unity flow that exists. It's like the Matrix, we just have to uncover it, and then everything will join together in a completion of this historical time we're in. And I apologize again for the sounds, but I really haven't had time other than now. And anyway, it's all about focus. If you want to listen, listen. If you want to speak to me face to face, please email me. Your Unity Flow, and in our notes will be the link. Thank you. Have a beautiful week and a beautiful Shabbos. We should only share good news. Welcome to part 2 of Eli Gossel's Inspired Flow. I'm sensing that this is a really hard edition to record, so it's obviously going to be an important one, and for whoever listens, obviously you were meant to hear these words, and the fact that there's such a reality called a coronavirus in the world right now, this moment, and there's such an obstacle to get this discussed. This is something really crucial. Corona means crown. I heard from Rabbi Jonathan Galed, we have him on our future podcast and posts. There we spoke about the concept of crown. The corona is the same word in Latin as crown. This is scientifically proven as well and brought down in the health guide by the Israeli health department. And it's something which is like just a known fact, that the virus has like a crown-like shape to it with coming out of it, however it looks under the microscope. And it's something which is connected to this concept of what crown means. Keser. Keser is the deepest level. It's the Adal Yada. It's the time which is beyond understanding. So when we talk about unity and unification and unified flow and all these deep ideas, really it's coming from that place of Keser. That was the revelation of the Baal Shem Tov HaKodesh before the Mashiach, before the Messiah comes. It's a very deep revelation, and obviously, we're getting ready for that revelation to be more and more revealed in our teachings and our understandings. A certain level of Adal Yada, we don't really know exactly how to explain it and put it into words, but from that high place, that Keser, that crown, comes as it does sit on the person's highest point of their place, where the source of, like in different books, the idea is like the highest point of a human, and that's where the light is most revealed. And it's a concept which is very misunderstood, but the reality is, in our generation, if we don't crown the king, meaning we don't bring this reality of bittul, of connection to that level which is beyond, above our understanding, which is totally involved with the Emunah concepts we've been talking about, having this intrinsic belief, then unfortunately there are these things like Corona. There's such, it's either this or this. This is unfortunately how the world manifests before the Mashiach comes, and everything in the end is the Tova. So if something so bad has come out, unfortunately people have died, and it's created such a scare on a business level and on a physical level. People are stocking up, not knowing what's going to be with lockdowns and traveling, and some people I know have even cancelled their trips to China. So obviously there's a real fear aspect that's going on, but on the positive side, there's also everything has to be taken on with love, even if something like this is so scary, and we have to try open ourselves to the positive side. And that is the whole idea of Chodesh Adar that we're in now. Mishiniknas Adam B'Simcha. We want to hafachu, we want to transform all the potential not good and not joy into joy. So from sadness we go to joy, from illness we go to healing. And if we can get the inner level right, the healing, the inner aspect of Emunah, of crowning the king, of realizing that everything is for the good, and that God knows best, our Creator knows best. And it's like the key in the 12 steps. It's like a revealed thing. This is not just a religious thing. This is like, this is ABCB now of life, of understanding how to go ahead. That you need to have a certain awareness. There's forces beyond you. We don't understand everything, and life and death and things that are very heavy can actually be sweetened and brought to a joyous level, because that's the idea. On Purim we get drunk. Like in 2 weeks' time we're going to be drinking in Jerusalem on the 15th, in the rest of the world the 14th, except for a few places. So we're going to be drinking, and we're going to be getting to that level. Adal Yada, we don't know the difference between Baruch Mordechai and Oro Haman, and it's like the idea of like Reb Chaim Kaneski, or say a Friedrich, earlier rabbi like the Chofetz Chaim, and Hitler Machshama. We don't know the difference between the two of them, because in the end, as Nissim Black says, Hitler's my worst nightmare, and that's Hodad Kush, like this idea that everywhere will reveal that Achris V'Reishis, that Hashem is the Achris, Hashem is the Reishis, Hashem is the beginning, Hashem is the end. There's this creation, there's this unifying force and everything. And that will give us that humility, and then we'll be able to look at all these news cycles with a whole different understanding that the right has to go ahead. You know, there's this idea of Binyamin, and Mordechai comes from Yamin, and this whole idea from Mordechai Satorsky, the right has to, you know, in the end, ultimately win. Yamin Hashem, Yamin Osachayil, like it says in the Psalms. You know, the right will be victorious, and that is, you know, we're not saying politically. I'm just saying on a inner level that the negative aspects of you know, this sort of left focus of negativity, that will dwindle, and the positivity, that's the true right, not the, you know, disgracing other people. That's nothing to do. We're talking about, you know, strengthening everybody and giving encouragement, the love that will give the power for everybody to crown the king. And we hope, please God, you know, everyone out there should just, you know, keep positive and, you know, not allow the fear to take over. Keep the love, keep the self-belief, you know, do your minimal, like, you know, efforts to, like, maintain your health and everything in terms of, you know, washing your hands and all that stuff, like it says in the health thing, and maybe stock up a little bit more than usual. But in the end, I really believe that, you know, by Purim we'll see a big transformation of this corona to crown the king, and that will be the Kesser that we see, the big crowning in the Megillah. There's always this idea HaMelech, the king, and I think that it's very appropriate it's come out this time of year. There's such a scare, and in such a time of history, 2020, it's the idea of Kesser is very profound and important in our generation, because, you know, we are living in a time of 2020, which is really Chaf and Reish is 2020. There's a very deep concept. You know, so interestingly, someone reached out to me that connects into the Unity bookings. It's called Factory 220, interestingly, and you know, he wants to make a show for Nissim in New Jersey, which will be perfect for the Mullah Bounce Unity concept. We'll be able to have that aspect of unity in New Jersey between the black and the Jewish community, and obviously once again going on the path of the right of just keeping everything positive and love. So that will be the invite, and that will be the focus. So we're going to start working on that, and obviously we've got our Munah tour we're always working on. Love to come back again to North America and Central America, maybe even to South Africa. We'll see. We're still working on it. You never know where Hashem's going to bring us any minute, and hopefully the world will, you know, have only positive things to report in the next few months. A lot of changes, a lot of healing, and a lot of transformation towards good. Be blessed. The Jews will be rejoicing with light and joy and preciousness and deep satisfaction, and that's you know, that will bring light to the world. A unity project in action. Have the oneness and share your unity flow. Thanks for listening to part 2.